Hello, this is DrGAKMAN here, Garrison Andrew Kane. This is another prosperity slash eBay selling. Prosperity for me and eBay for you, whoever's watching. This is a collection I'm selling on eBay. I'm doing it different this time. I usually put what do you call that? An auction up, but I find myself not hardly doing auctions anymore, and I think that's the same with a lot of people. They want to bid on it once, and then they want it to be theirs. They want to get it sooner. They don't want to have to worry about, waiting till the last minute or all that stuff. Plus, the way I was doing my initial bid when I had the auction style going on, had some problems with people just complaining that it was too high for the initial bid. And I kind of would feel the same way, I guess, if I was bidding on something. I was just trying to look at it from my point of view, but right now I'm looking at it from the buyer's point of view, and blah blah blah. You don't want to hear about that. You just want to hear about this collection. So this will be up for a buy it now, not a bidding war. I may put or best offer on it. I'm not too sure, but I don't know yet. I think buy it now is the way I'm going to do it. The only Nintendo first/second party game there is on this Wii collection is Excite Truck. If you could consider that first party, I would more consider it second party, although Nintendo completely published it or whatever. Then I've got Capcom games on the top row here. There's Tatsunoko vs. Capcom Ultimate All-Stars. Great game. Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition. The Resident Evil Umbrella Chronicles. And Monster Hunter 3 or Try. Second row is Super Monkey Ball Banana Blitz from Sega. Also from Sega is Mad World. Ignition is the one that I want to say it was Marvelous that made this game. Yeah, Marvelous. But Ignition is the publisher. It's Muramasa, the Demon Blade. It's a beautiful game. No More Heroes 2, Desperate Struggle. Trauma Center Second Opinion. Now this is the sequel to the DS game. This is from Ubisoft, by the way, and this is from Atlas as well as DrGAKMAN Kingdom. Now, if I remember right, the DrGAKMAN Kingdom, I think, is worth a lot. I could have that confused with the PlayStation 2 version, because I think that one's worth a lot, and this one's, they made more copies of, so it's not worth as much, but I could have that the other way around. But it is a really fun game. It's kind of like a RPG meets Mario Party. This was the sequel to the DS game. It's awesome. It really, really shows what the Wii's potential was as far as like pointer controls go, and some of the motion controls, but mainly pointer controls. This is a collection that Don Bluth presents. I love Don Bluth. Dragon's Lair trilogy. It only has, well, there's only 2 Dragon's Lair games, but they included Space Ace with the collection. Dragon's Lair 1, Space Ace, and Dragon's Lair 2. This was published by Destineer. But it's originally a digital leisure game. You can use the Wiimote or the classic controls with this, and it's got different modes for how to play the game. It's pretty much movie perfect from the Laserdiscs. This game has been ported to so many things, but I really like this collection. Speed Racer, this is based off the movie Speed Racer, the video game. This is from Warner Brother Games, but it is based off, again, what is this? Side Emergent. Anyway, this is based off the movie, and I love the movie. I thought the movie was awesome. It was like a roller coaster, and you could use the Wii wheel, or basically use the Wiimote in a sideways configuration, like a steering wheel. This actually, I thought, like when they had that for Mario Kart, I prefer the classic controls for Mario Kart. I don't know what it is with Mario Kart. I think it's because I played it so much on DS and now 3DS that I just prefer the classic controller as opposed to using motion controls with it. And I think a lot of people are like that, but then there's also people who like the motion controls. This game, though, even more so than Mario Kart, at least for me, seemed to really work well with the motion controls as a steering wheel. I don't know if that was because it felt more floaty, kind of almost F-Zero-esque, but there's definitely a lot more combat to it, as far as, they call it car fu, kind of like in the movie. I don't know. I mean, I'm a big fan of the movie, so of course I really like this game, and it used the motion controls well, I thought. Then these are the three Treyarch developed Activision Call of Duty games. I believe they had Call of Duty 3 maybe on Wii as well, but that one didn't have online. All three of these had online. They changed the different online emblems though. But I remember the drama behind all this. I'm a Nintendo only person, and I was a big Wii fan when everybody else was. Well, I shouldn't say everybody else, but the in crowd of gaming was just making fun of it, and so many people were like, I didn't even know they made Call of Duty for Wii. Well, yes, they did, and if I remember right, two of them sold over 1 million, I believe, and if not, then maybe more. I don't know. I'll have to check on that later. But this is Black Ops, and then Modern Warfare. They called this the Reflex Edition, and Modern Warfare 3. They never brought Modern Warfare 2 over because at that point, I believe they brought this over a year late on Wii. Then this was almost day and date since Treyarch was the one that worked on Black Ops. And the other two were Infinity Ward originally on the other systems, but the Wii editions were handled by Treyarch. Now, the reason why, as opposed to playing them on the other systems, I bought them for Wii. Number one, I didn't have the other systems, and number two, I'm a big Nintendo fan. But even if I did, the controls for this were unbelievable. They show the zapper. I never really liked using the zapper, but some people did. They really went all out in making the Wiimote pointer controls really work with this, and that's really, there was so much potential with the pointer controls for first-person shooters, or any kind of shooter game, or anything that requires pointing, but no developers really took advantage of it. And I really appreciate Treyarch's work in doing that, and I hate Activision for not advertising these games, and Infinity Ward for just being snub-nosed towards Call of Duty fans on Wii U, or I should say Wii, sorry. But these games were great. Any of the games with online capabilities, like Monster Hunter Tri and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, unfortunately, as far as I know, Nintendo was shut down on the networks. However, if you are a Wii modder, like I am, and got the homebrew channel on your thing, there are ways to go and play these games online still. There's going to be a lot of hackers, of course, and stuff. And that was something that plagued the original Call of Duty, or when they were originally out on Wii, because Wii is such an easy system to exploit. But all that aside, these were great experiences. It really showed that any kind of game could have been ported down to the Wii, and that developers, publishers left money on the table when it came to the Wii. Part of me does not want to sell the Resident Evil games that I've got, or the Capcom games in general, because in some ways Capcom treated Wii well, but in other ways they really did not. In fact, that's kind of like the mixed bag of all of these games. It's almost like some of them were slaps in the face, you know. We wanted Resident Evil 5 and 6, us Wii only fans, and there was tons of us. They made it out to be like we were a limited number. No, the Wii sold over 100 million. And yes, there were more people that probably weren't interested in these kind of games, but there were people like me, and I know a lot of other people, who would have bought Resident Evil 5 and 6. The capability to bring those games over to the Wii were possible. It's like back in the NES days. They ported a lot of arcade games. They had no business being on the NES, like the Turtles arcade game, you know, and a lot of PC games or point-and-click games, DOS games, like Maniac Mansion and Shadowgate. They brought those games over. You know why? Because it made sense to business sense, and it made business sense to do that for the Wii as well. But unfortunately, there's an agenda in the industry. That's a whole other tirade or whatever. But for Nintendo enthusiasts like me and collectors, or just people who want good games on the Wii, these are really good games. I really did not want to sell these, or like I said, the other Capcom games that I've got on here. But after Capcom's treatment recently, I just feel like whatever. I've got them basically through other means, but they never brought 5 and 6 over, and I wanted to complete, quote unquote, this collection, kind of like No More Heroes 2. I don't have number 1, but I was planning on buying number 1. There is a second Trauma Center that they brought to Wii as well. I think it was called the New Team. I don't have that, unfortunately, but that was another one that I was thinking about collecting. They brought Mad Dog McCree over, blah, blah, blah. That was another one that I was thinking about collecting, but as I had to dwindle my collection down and as I need money, I'm selling these more out of spite because, you know, these games were not properly advertised by the publishers, some of them, and they were almost sent to die. And that's really sad because a lot of them were great games and they could have led to even, you know, greater games being brought to the Wii, but that never happened. And I felt like I wanted to collect the rest of these, but I just don't have the money or the time or the energy to waste on that now. But these are still great games. I haven't decided what I'm going to put on the price of them. I'm going to check into each individual price individually. All of these games come with their instructions, and the discs are in great shape. Let me go through each of these to show you the instructions. Some of them, like the Call of Duty games, like maybe had like a one-page instruction booklet or whatever. I think that's what happened with a lot of these. Some of them have full-color disc artwork, later games, and most of them have, you know, just plain old disc art. Like that one. DrGAKMAN does have its instructions. I believe all of these have their instructions, but I'm just showing you. The instructions are in great shape, and like I said, the discs are in great shape. I think maybe 1 or 2 of these were bought used, maybe from Blockbuster, like past collections that I've had. But unlike card games, you know, there wasn't a lot of sticker action on these. It was just basically stickers on the cover for the price. Whereas with the card games, it stuck stickers all over them. But with these, you don't have to worry about that. There's no stickers on any of the discs. And there's no writing on them either. But most of these were bought new. Maybe a couple of them I bought used, but most of these are bought new. Going over these again, Monster Hunter Tri is amazing. How they put so much effort into porting over basically a PSP game to Wii, and it still looks so awesome. I mean, it's funny how some of these things looked really good. Mad World is one that was so violent that they made it black and white. If you like Futurama, little blurb for you. one of the hosts, because it's kind of like a game show, kind of like an 80s like Running Man or whatever, really violent. You're this guy and you're going through and killing all these people like as if it's a contest to see how crazy you could kill people. Post-apocalyptic type of world. Very stylized, almost kind of like Sin City or like a comic book or something, graphic novel. If you're a fan of Futurama, the guy who voices Bender does some of the commentary on this. I think the other guy's famous too that does commentary. But Super Monkey Ball is, ever since GameCube, has been a mainstay for Nintendo and Nintendo fans, and it's really fun. I would prefer the stick controls, and they have it to where you can use the stick on it. I prefer that. But some of the mini games actually are more fun with the Wiimote controls. So, Maramasa, however you pronounce that, beautiful game. Again, you can use that with the classic controller or the other types. I might as well go over the controller types with most of these. This, again, is a classic controller, although it's a lot better to play with the motion controls because of the swinging. And I'll tell you, the mini games on this are absolutely hilarious and really fun. They should just make a game just the mini games in that. This was originally, I think, Grasshopper Media, and Marvelous helped on this. And Ubisoft is the one that published it, just like the first one. But great game. And Trauma Center. This one you need the Wiimote nunchuck on that one. You can't use classic controls on that. This you can use even the GameCube controller on, because again it's a lot like Mario Party. This classic controller. This is classic controller, or the pointer controls, Wiimote, blah blah blah. Excite Truck is really fun. This one's only 2 players only, Wiimote. The Tatsunoko versus Capcom, you got to play this with the classic controllers. There's really no other way to play it. The GameCube controller you could use on it too, but this one didn't have GameCube support, but you already had it on GameCube, and the Wii Edition allowed for the pointing with the Wiimote. This says the Zapper, but Zapper and the Wii Wheel are just basically pieces of plastic. This uses the Wii Speak, which I used a couple of times when I first got it because it was like the first game that I used it for. Came with Animal Crossing, I think, but I think I bought mine separately. But never really got a chance to use it on Animal Crossing. On Monster Hunter Tri, it was almost unusable. Speaking of speaking, there is from PDP, which is actually a really good third-party peripheral and accessory maker for Nintendo. I think they were the ones that are working on the new Smash GameCube controllers too. This is a headset, which the one that was on Black Ops also could work on Modern Warfare 3, right here. It's the same headset, but they had 2 separate types of headsets, I believe. I was upset when the Wii U Call of Duty came out, and wouldn't you know, those headsets don't work on, it was Black Ops 2 and Ghosts, and those headsets don't work on it, so I had to buy a separate headset to plug into the gamepad itself. I don't know. I think they did a really good job on adapting this to the Wii, but on Wii U they just didn't do as well, and plus the games are getting kind of stale and stagnant for most people, including myself. As a bonus, you're getting a white Wiimote. This is just a plain one. Might be a little, not dirty, but sticky from a lot of use. I think this was one of my first, or the first Wiimote. It's probably the one that came with the system. But I've bought a bunch of other Wiimotes with the Wii Motion Plus built inside since. Speaking of which, I got this. This, it has this Japanese back label, but I swear this is like a Chinese knockoff. I'm throwing this in as a bonus. Don't say that this is like part of the set. If you buy it and you throw it away when you get it, I don't care. It's made out to be, I don't know if it was a factory reject or what, but it's made out to be like it's a Nintendo brand, and it looks it. and it kind of feels it, but it also it just didn't seem to feel as sturdy. It came with the this nunchuck, and the nunchuck again, it didn't feel sturdy either. And the gauge around the directional thing, usually you would hear a click, 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 click in all the 8 directions, but in this, it's like very, very. It's smooth, but I don't want smooth. I want the gauged feel. So when you're smashing it left and right or up and down, you can feel where it goes into the groove. Plus, it seemed to be almost a different color than the red Wii. I really wanted a red Wiimote. I don't know if you can tell from this, but it seems to be like the cord is lighter than the controller, and then the nunchuck is darker than the Wiimote. So it seems off color. I would say it looks very official, but I would say that it's probably either a knockoff or a factory reject or something, because my nunchucks feel a lot better than I have personally. So I would just say that this works, and this works. I think it did. I had a hard time connecting it with my Wii when using the homebrew channel. So just keep that in mind if you're using it for homebrew channel stuff. But for the most part, it just didn't feel right. So I'm saying that this is like a bonus throw-in. It's not a part of the price that I'm going to put on this. Also, free shipping on all the stuff that I send out. I'm probably going to try to send this in one of the bigger priority mail boxes, so you should get it within a week after I ship it out, and I'll ship it the next day, or if you order early enough, in whatever day that you do a buy it now, I'll send it out the same day. It all depends, and I'll give you a tracking number and right away, blah blah blah, standard eBay stuff, whatever. But thank you for watching. For myself, I did own these at one time, and I gave you kind of like little mini reviews of each of the games. And for you Nintendo only fans like me, or just people who are trying to collect all these, I would say the gems in this are Muramasa, the Tatsunoko vs. Capcom, and the Dokapon Kingdom. But some really, really good games are Mad World, the No More Heroes, Desperate Struggle, the Trauma Team Second Opinion, and then just some classic games, or Monster Hunter 3 Try. I forgot to tell you about that one too, or say that, include that in my list of really good games in this. But there's also some more classic-ish games. This is almost like an arcade railgun shooter. There was a Dark Side Chronicles too that also had come out, Resident Evil themed, and then Resident Evil 4 classic. Another classic arcade experience is this. This is very arcadey too. You could argue Mad World is as well, and Super Monkey Ball is definitely arcadey. It started in the arcades. So really, really good games. Mainly third-party games. So if you're looking to complete your collection or start a nice, good collection of third-party games, and I don't mean like Game Party or frickin' Kabbalah and all that crap. I mean, some people like the Kabbalah games. I don't. If you're looking to start that, then here you go. This is all one big bundle. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10. That's 16 games. And 3 controllers, although those are kind of just throwing bonus. So there you go. Thank you for watching, and sorry it was so long-winded. And happy bidding. Or should I say buying.